Welcome to this course in this lecture series, Unit First and Lecture to 12. Material cutting operation. Agenda for today present in this video the tool life and tool life equation and marchinability to the variables affecting the tool life and surface finish, ideal surface finish in the turning and cutting fluids. The cooling action of the lubrications actions and types of the cutting fluid and cutting fluid and selection. What is the objective of this lecture? On this main purpose of this lecture is the find out the tool life and tool life equation and the tool temperature and the affecting of the variable in the finishing of the surface and ideal surface finishing, and this is the most important of the main function in this video for find out the finish surface and improve the efficiency of the tools. Okay, what is the tool life? The tool life is the represent the useful of the tools and generally expected for in the times unit for the start of the cut and the ended starting of the cut and ended of the chief cut of by help of the tools, and this defined as the failure of the criteria. This is known as tool life. Okay, a tool that no longer the performance and desired function is the said to be in have the field of the tools fail of tools. This is the end of the life of the tools. Is the working of the tools is duration to the time duration of the working of the tools is known as the tool life period या फिर tool life equation. Okay, the stand by using find out the value of the tool life and the by using of the sum of standard parameters in the ISO, an Indian standard organization, by use of the standard parameters in this analysis of the tool life questions. Suppose that the find of the tools is a diamond tool material of the tool life. Okay, the consider for the speed linear velocity of the tools is 0 0.3, okay, and per meter per meter, okay, in the flank of the regularity for one of the zone part B. The maximum in consider for the maximum tool life equation is 0.6 mm, as the life of the flank is the regularity on the scratted for the generally to the broadly the provided in the zone B. The consider for the zone 1 and zone 2. The comparison for the the mechanical energy converted in this zone of the generated converted in the heat. The heat is the in present for the created by the 75 to 65 to 75% of the mechanical heat converted into the tool life can be specified the any following the measurable of the quantities, the actual cutting time to the failure of the tools, and length of the work and measure for the length of work and volume of the metals removal for the failure, number of component in the mm, produce, the cutting speed of the is the given for the failure of the time. The tool life is the present for the continue. The following the sum of the possible tools for the criteria that would be used for the measurable limitation of the tools and find out the value of the tool life. The chipping for the measure for the materials and standard materials in find out the tools line. The develop for the cutting edge and wear land size, the crater's depth, width of the other parameters, and a combination of the above two. The volume of the weight of the material form for the tool. Suppose that I will consider for the materials as the alloy steels, the starting for the cut of the materials and end of the cutting speed. Okay, the only for the to find out the by using of the method in the integration method, one is the analytical method. Okay, the total duration of the tools is known as the tool life equation. Based on the sequences of the one tools or the limitation value of the surface finish, the first of all the point is considered for the limitation of the value and limiting value for the change in the component size and fix of this one point is things about is this in this limit for the fix increase the cutting force. One thing is the cutting for the increase the cutting force and power required for performance and increase for the power losses. Okay, the tool life is the main advantage of for the fair of the measurement of the tools on the tools life question. The also desire for proportional for the surface finish and most objective of the mm, objective of the smooth surface in the machining operation. Okay, force the actual tool life value for obtained in the depend on the value of the ad- adapted to the size of and limitation of the limit of the value on the consider for the uh, very different materials in the find of the tool materials and by using of the by achieved by the surface finishing and the wear land in the consider for the chip thickness is the working for and tools materials for removing the wear is the chip also consider for the chip is 0.75 mm and the by the tool selected by the tool of the carbide tools working for the carbide tools and I achieve for the surface is the rough surface. Okay, roughing surface and consider for the length of the chief consider for the other chief thickness is the 0.25 to say 0.38 mm. The by choose for the tools is the carbide tools also carbide tools in the by using by cheap by the surface finish is the finishing surface will smooth surface. Okay, and consider for the chip thickness is the 1.50. Okay, very high is the by a tools is considered for the materials is the high stainless steel tools in application of this operation the achieve for the roughing surface. Okay, the other is the things is the consider for the chip thickness is the feed rate is the 0.25 to the 0.38 and by using again for the high stainless steel tools is the by find out the surface is cutting finishing surface and second things is the other is the 0.25 the chip thickness is the 0.25 to the 0.38 and the tools is considered for choose in this operation is the oxide. Okay, oxide materials in the by achieve for the surface roughing surface and finishing surface both surface are find out in this the tools materials. Okay, the tool life equation the tail by using the Taylor through for there is the operation in this cutting speed for maximum productivity. I achieve for the maximum productivity of the on this operation. Hence the reason for this is the fact that a low of cutting speed and the tools have the higher life, but productivity is low. There the most relation is the sum of the point is considered to the in the cutting speed increase and increase, the tool life also decrease, and cutting tools tool life also decrease, and tool have tool have the higher life. The cutting speed is low, the tool life also increase. Okay, but productivity is very low. Second things is the also consider for the find out the value of the tool life. V T power n equal to C. This is the formula consider for the tool determine the tool life, where the T is the tool life in minute, and V is the cutting speed minute meter per minute. Okay, C and N is the constant value. There the two constant value is considered in this equation. For find main things is to find out the value of the two constant value. True is the finally good for formula in this formula by using help of the tool life equation, and the by find out the value of the tool speed and tool life. As the result applicable for the above formula in the restricted to the very small region cutting process parameters in by using the tool life equation, and also modified this equation and achieve for the very minimum tool life, minimum productivity, and minimum of the expenditure of this operation. Researcher for reduce for the definition in the reduce the t theta equal to uh, b theta power v is equal to c. The v also modify the Vt बराबर 0.52 minus 2x upon 1 minus 2x, and equal to Tc, मतलब critical temperature, and H is the Henry heat of the generated to the equals in this age heat. H is the heat, and 0.25 power upon Cus upon e के power x, and second function is a power of the 1 by 1 minus 2x. Question second. H is the specific heat and thermal conductivity. Both are heat considered for the capital H. And theta is the tool temperature. Second things is the consider for the to theta temperature is the tool yeah, adiabatic temperature. Second things are adiabatic temperature, and A is the area of the cutting by using of the tools, and use the specific cutting energy and unit cutting forces. Okay, C and X is the constant value. Also for read also things for the above question, and theta find out the value of theta, and the theta equal to C naught US V के power 0.44 A के power 0.22 upon K is the constant value and K power 0.44, and tau is the shear stress of the tools and workpiece between the tool and workpiece 0.56, where K is the thermal conductivity of the work material, and tau is the specific heat of the work, and this is things the modify of the equation is the Vt की power n, f के power n1, and d की power n2 is the equal to c. C is the constant. Both are the constant value in this equation. Okay, this is the equation is modified. Find out the value of theta. Okay, theta is the value of tool temperature. Other things is the adiabatic temperature. Okay, the tool life question also for comparison of the other materials used in this operation. The part of the cutting process, the parameter, the tool life depend on the work materials as well as the tool materials. The component therefore used in the combination of the tools and working for the materials in the tool materials. Okay, the total materials and tools materials for work materials and expanded for and constant value of C. The tool material also considered for the ISO according to ISO Indian Standard Organization, and material work is considered for the AISI मतलब कि Indian industry and socialization of industry, and T tool life is the N, and feed rate N1, and depth of the cut is D is the N2. The machinability is the machinability also the property of the machine tools is the machinability. This is the things for the characteristic of the tool material is expensive for the in machining. It is the it is characteristic of the is the difficulty of the materials. Suppose that I think for the this is the very hard, diamond is the very hard materials, and the tools is the also make for the this materials, and the achieve for the very soft, very smooth surface is the according to the in cutting operation. During the cutting operation achieve for the very smooth surface, and uniformity for like the characteristic of the materials. It is not for simple properly. For the example of a hard materials is the hard work material is the difficult to the machine. The wherever of the affecting to the tool life is the tool life is variation of and generation generated to the variation in this the cutting condition. What is the cutting condition? And tool geometry is also depend on the tool life. Tool materials also for the very is most important function of the tool materials, and the also is the function of the one other is the function of the tool materials. And second thing is the cutting fluid. Cutting fluid is the most important function is using in the increase for the tool life equation, and the fluid is the in application of this operation. Surface finishing, the achieve for the surface finishing, the machining operation is in the application of the more factors in use in using in this operation, then achieve for the high efficiency of the tools and increase for the tool life, and the productivity also increase in this operation. The industry is also the increase for the economic reason of the industry, and development of the industry. The main funds all the functions is included to the main things of the main things of the increase for the economics of the fencing. The is the manufacturing operation is the also improve. This is the important for non effective surface finishing, that for the achieve for the machining operation. The surface finishing is the very important things of the two factors. One is the function is the ideal surface finishing is achieved in this operation, and the tool geometry of the manufacturing process that can be denoted to the considering for the geometry of the tools is the application of the materials and selected to the tools of the materials, the achieve for the efficiency of the material. The natural component other things is the acting for the natural component of the acting for the uncontrollable factor in the machining the difficult to the projected. Thank you so much, friends. This is the subscribe for the channels and increase for the knowledge of and creative to the our knowledge in the technical reasons. Thank you so much.